Hello, strangers. Welcome to Albert Reads the Hits. I'm Albert Strange. This is the secrets behind the number ones. Today we are in the 1980s with the seventh number one song of that year, of that decade. But before getting to that, I do want to take a quick second to ask you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll know next time I drop a video. Happens most weekdays at 3 o'clock. When you do subscribe, please leave a message in the comment section saying I subscribed. I'm a new subscriber. I will reply to you. I've had some very good back and forth with the people that have done it. I just did it with somebody yesterday, in fact. Trying to grow the channel, and anything that you can do in that regard is very helpful. So let's get to it though. We have the seventh number one song of 1980 is "Funkytown" by Lips Inc. Spelled I-N-C, like incorporated, but it's not actually Lips Incorporated. It's Lips Inc. like lip sync. It's supposed to be said like that. Lip sync, Lips Inc. Lip sync. I learned that when I was researching the song. I never knew that before. So this is a song everybody knows. You've heard the song in commercials, on movies, TV shows. It's a very famous song. They are a one-hit wonder, lip sync that is. But this song was number one for 4 weeks. 4 weeks number one. That's a very good run for a one-hit wonder. From May 31st until June 28th of 1980. Again, 4 weeks at number one. So let's get right to the lyrics, and we'll talk a bit more about the song itself, some of the secrets behind it, and I'll get right to it. Okay, so "Funkytown" by Lip Sync. Gotta make a move to a town that's right for me. Town to keep me moving, keep me grooving with some energy. Well, I talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Talk about moving. Gotta move on, gotta move on, gotta move on. Won't you take me to Funkytown? 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 Gotta make a move to a town that's right for me. Town to keep me moving, keep me grooving with some energy. Well, I talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Talk about moving. Gotta move on, gotta move on, gotta move on. Won't you take me to Funkytown? 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 Won't you take me down to Funkytown? Won't you take me down to Funkytown? Won't you take me down to Funkytown? And that's it. Lyrically, it's a pretty short song. I think it's 3 to 4 minutes long with the music. Very famous. Sounds a bit like what's that song? Get Ready. It's a song from the 70s. I don't remember what band it is, but it's not important. So this song, it was number one for 4 weeks in 1980. It was written by Steven Greenberg. He was the founding member of Lip Sync. He was living in Minneapolis when he wrote this song, and he wanted to move to New York, to Funkytown. One thing that when you read the lyrics, what he writes: "Gotta make a move to a town that's right for me. Well, I talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Gotta move on, gotta move on." So he's saying he needs to do all these things, but then he's saying, "Won't you take me to Funkytown?" So he needs to do all these things, but he's waiting for you. He's waiting for someone to take him to Funkytown. Why can't he just get up and go himself? I don't know. That's the part that stuck with me about this song. You know, he's saying, "Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this," but I'm not gonna do it until you, until you, grab me by the throat and say you're doing it. But anyway, this is a good song. I like this song. I hear it on the radio a lot. It's never going away. This song is going to be in pop culture forever. Despite the fact that Lip Sync was a one-hit wonder. The singer who has a great voice, by the way, Cynthia Johnson. She went on to do some. She went on to have quite a career. I mean, she's not a big name. You know, she's not, you know, Whitney Houston or anything like that. But she continued in the industry. She won 3 Grammys for gospel music. She sung several commercial jingles. So she's had a 40-year career in the music industry, 40+ year career in the music industry. So, you know, good for her. She has a great voice. She really hits some notes in this song. I'm not going to attempt to imitate her. She's a very good singer, though. Very good voice. Good for you, Cynthia Johnson, for taking, you know, the one hit and making a career out of it and moving on to other things. It's not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to do. So good, very good for her. Steven Greenberg, again the songwriter, you know, he's still making money off this. He's licensing out everything. But after he left the music industry, because Lip Sync stayed together until about 1985, and in the 90s, he became like a web designer. Like, he left music entirely, and he did that for about 15 years. I don't know what he's doing now, but he was working in web design, you know, IT stuff for 15 years after, you know, he'd been a #1 artist. So, you never know where this might take you, right? But this song, very famous song. Very famous song. It's inescapable, really. You'll hear this song so many, like, in the background of movies and in commercials. Just a few of the movies here that I have listed: Shrek 2, Madagascar 3, Alvin and the Chipmunks. So we're looking at kids movies. Not to say that Shrek is necessarily a kids movie. Madagascar is more of a kids movie. Alvin and the Chipmunks more of a kids movie. Shrek is a kids movie, but it's also a lot of good adult humor in those Shrek movies. But that's just a few that I found. I know it's been in other movies. It's been in lots of I remember it was in a commercial, some like GE commercial, like in the late aughts, maybe 2007, 2008. I heard it on a commercial just the other day on the radio. I don't remember what it was for, but I remember hearing the song. So the song's never going away. Not that I wanted to. I like this song. It's a good song, but it's gonna be around forever. One thing that's also kind of striking about the song itself, it wasn't called auto-tune then, and it's not exactly auto-tune, but there's a lot of like almost like electrical synthesizer use for her singing, for Cynthia Johnson's singing. I just wrote pre-auto-tune, but if you listen to it and you really are listening to it, not just, you know, to the song, but kind of you know, putting on the analytical hat while you're listening to it, you're just like, wow, that's like auto-tune 30 years before it became popular. So something worth noting, I felt. But yeah, it's a great song. There is no official video on YouTube, but the video with the most views is only 4 years old, and has 23 million views. And then the second most views is the lyrics video, has 19 million. So between those two, it has over 40 million views on YouTube. Not bad for a 40-year-old song. 40 million views, 40 years. Not bad. Not bad at all. So good for you, Lips Incorporated, Steven Greenberg and Cynthia Johnson. There were other members, but no one else noteworthy that I felt. So that's what I have for you for Funkytown, strangers. Thank you very much for giving me the time. Do as I always ask: like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. You can find me on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. Too many of those things. But you can find me there. All the handles are in the description. Do, as always, remember to tip your servers, your bartenders, your rideshare drivers, your delivery drivers. They appreciate it. Put a couple bucks on top of what you normally would. They will especially appreciate it. I'll appreciate it on their behalf as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, strangers. I'll put a few other videos from 1980 that I feel might be to your liking if you enjoyed this song. And I will see you in the 1990s next time. 2 videos from the 80s here, a video from the 90s coming up. It's a cover of a Prince song. It's not Prince, but Prince wrote it. So until next time, strangers, I will see you in the 1990s.